Okay, so where we finished last time, you were supposed to do a little bit more. We should have bounds that do not let us go outside. So if I go over, I hit it, and I've also added another icon here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a game where you essentially have to go and get these other icons. When you get to them, they disappear, or they go to a new spot, things like that. So let me just recap. You should have turned in your other assignments. So I'm going to go over a little bit of a few things that I did. And one thing is I moved these image locations up into the top up there. Now I believe most everything else is similar. I did kind of switch over to a different game. I actually made a different game here and then tried to go back, which was I think I got everything back to where it was. But if not, you can kind of see what I have here. Now one thing I did, you'll notice to add the other icon, I put it as a separate method at the bottom here. That's all I did to do that. And you'll see that why in a minute here. The other thing is this is the code I used to keep them from going out of bounds. Now notice here 32 is the size there. I probably shouldn't have that hard-coded, but for right now it is hard-coded, and that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to essentially have a way to create multiple icons here. So we want this icon, add icon to go into our animation cycle. So I'm going to put it in here, move it down into animation. But if I run this now, you're going to see I'm going to create way too many of these guys here. So they're just going to kind of go all over the place pretty quickly. Okay, don't want to do that. And so what I want to do is I want to essentially create a small counter. And I'm going to put that counter outside my animation loop because I don't want it there. So I'm going to say int, actually I need to put it outside of my handle, but inside here I believe, int counter equals 0. And then in here, I'm only going to do this with, I'm going to use a mod function. So I'm going to say if counter, let's say mod 100 equals 0, then I want to add my icon. Otherwise, I don't add my icon, and now I should add my icon once every 100 times. I'm still getting too many. Why is that? Oh, I know why I'm getting too many. Because okay, so I'm getting too many too many guys coming in because I forgot to increment my counter. So I just need to increment my counter there, and now when I run this, I'll see that I'm just getting one every 100 cycles, which is every couple seconds, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, but now if I go over these, nothing happens, and what I want to have happen is I want them to disappear, essentially capture them. So what I have to do is I have to check to see if I'm over the top of one of them. Well, right now I'm creating all these icons, but I don't have any way to remember where they all are. I create one each time I loop, but that's it. So what I actually need to do is make an array to store all of these. So I'm going to create a node array. So this is going to be node, and it's actually going to be an array list. So let's go array list of nodes, and we'll call this aliens. I'm going to put it out here because I'm going to need to reference it in a couple places. So first thing I'm going to do, once I create a new alien, I need to add that alien to my I added in there, and I'm also going to do aliens.add, and I'm going to add this icon. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to check to see if I'm on top of them. Every time I move, I'm going to check that. So I'm going to say check alien. Okay. And we're going to create a new method that checks the alien. So let's come down here, create that method. So again, private void, we're not going to return anything. Check alien. Okay, and now what happens is if I hit an alien, I basically want to increment my score up by 1, and I want to take that alien out. But what I have to do is search through all of my aliens. So for int I equals 0, I less than aliens dot length or size. Okay, now what I have to do is check to see if they are a hit. And now, fortunately, JavaFX has a great function that does that. It basically lets us check the bounds of one item for the intersection of the other. So what I want to do is an if statement. So I'm going to say if, and then I'm going to take my first icon, and I'm going to get bounds in parent. I'm going to say intersects, and then I'm going to say the bounds of my current alien. So the alien is going to be aliens dot get I dot get bounds in parent. Okay, and so I'm checking that there to see if there's an intersection, and if there is, then I need to essentially delete them from the screen. So I'm going to say aliens dot get I. What I want to do is remove this child, and so I'm going to go back here and say my main node is this root. So I'm going to say root.getChildren. And I'm going to say remove. And I'm going to remove that node. And I also have to pull this out of my array. And so again, I'm going to say aliens.remove I. Okay, and let's check to see if that works. And I'm getting a whole bunch of errors. Okay, so I got a lot of errors, and the reason is I forgot to actually define my aliens up here, but I forgot to actually create the array here. So I need to say new array list of nodes of a node. Okay, and so that should fix my problem. So again, I come down here. If I run this, I should now see my objects, and when I hit them, they disappear. Okay. Now I have a couple. That one almost comes off of the screen, so I might want to adjust how I'm placing these icons, but I can still get to it to grab them there. Okay. Now what you need to do to finish up this assignment is, first of all, create a score. Figure out how to do that. It's easy to put the score in the first time. The question is, how do you update the score? And you're going to maybe need to Google that to figure that out. The other thing you need to do is have some sort of winning condition or losing condition. So maybe you lose if there gets to be too many of these on here or something. But create some sort of losing condition where you can have the game essentially stop if you lose. Okay, and that'll be it for now, and hopefully you have no problems. Thanks.